Welcome to the Vari Longmuir Podcast, episode number 10. Welcome to the Vari Longmuir Podcast, and as you may have guessed, I'm your host, Vari. Since stepping away from the 9-to-5 world back in 2009, I've been a creative director, illustrator, artist, business mentor, and coach to fellow creative types. The intention with this podcast is to offer a fresh perspective about what it really means to be a working creative. I'm offering simple strategies to add a little more joy to your days and sharing my own insights and lessons learned, often the hard way, from over a decade of being my own boss. Now let's get into today's episode. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's podcast. If you follow me over on Instagram, you might have noticed this week that I am holding a live Q&A call on the 22nd of July. I used to run these free online workshops regularly, but I kind of got out the way of it. Now, I did one a few weeks back, and it was all about the 5 myths creatives believe that keeps them stuck, broke, and exhausted. And I had such great feedback after the class. Think of these live classes as kind of like more in-depth podcasts. Now, I intentionally keep the episodes here on the podcast short and sweet. There's so much content out there that I try to be as respectful of your time as possible and give you these little bite-sized chunks of coaching that you can implement straight away in your life and your business. But sometimes it's great to have some more time to dig a little bit deeper into specific subjects and topics. And that's what I love about these masterclasses. After all the great feedback from the class a few weeks ago, I decided to do another live class again next week that's more of a Q&A style class. I love teaching everyone in these classes the tools and concepts that I teach my private coaching clients. But I know that when I'm the student on these types of classes and calls, I've always got so many questions that I'm desperate to ask the person holding the class. So if you want some free coaching from me, come and join the class. It's Monday morning at 11 a.m. Melbourne time, which makes it Sunday evening in the US. The class is totally free and there's nothing for sale. It's just a chance for us to get together in class, roll our sleeves up and do the work. The easiest way to register for your spot in the class is to just head on over to my Instagram. I'm at Vari Longmuir, and click the link there in my bio. That'll take you right through to the registration page. As soon as you register, you'll get an email from me telling you exactly how to submit your question and how to make the most of our hour together. Alrighty, let's get into this week's episode. Today, I want to talk about inevitable goals. What I see clients doing all the time is this. They'll set themselves this big goal, a goal that feels like a real stretch for them. Then they'll put this super short deadline on it. Now, this might be that they want to earn, say, $10,000 a month in their creative business when they're only making $2,000 a month at the moment. And then they'll set a date 2 months from now to achieve it. Now, I think goals are great. And I know from experience that many creatives don't even set goals. But the problem with these big short-term goals is that it puts immense pressure on us. Here's the thing. The you that's making $2,000 a month just now is very different from the you that's making $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 a month. Today's you is thinking different thoughts and taking different actions from the you who's making $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000. And that's okay. That's completely normal. We get so frustrated when our business isn't growing as quickly as we'd like it to. Trust me, I've been there. I know the frustration. Or we feel like we have to work more hours to make more money when we're already working 40 or 50 or 60 hours per week. We set these big short-term goals out of frustration. And when we don't hit them by the date we've set, we get even more frustrated and the cycle continues. Let me ask you this. If you set a longer term goal, say you planned on taking your $2,000 a month income to $10,000 a month over the course of 2 years, how would you think about the next 2 months? How would you approach your work in the next 2 months? If you decided that it was inevitable that you'd hit this income goal 2 years from now, that it's a done deal, would you be frustrated at increasing your income little by little over the next 6 months? Probably not. You'd probably be super excited to see it growing in the right direction. Here's the thing. In order to realize those bigger goals, we need to learn new things that are not even in our awareness right now. And the only way to get there is by learning as we grow. We think we want to be an overnight success, but trust me, you don't, because you need to grow into that version of yourself. And that is where the fun stuff is. It's said that there is no such thing as a happy ending to a miserable journey, and I totally agree. When you go on a trip or take a holiday with your family, your final destination is back at home, right? It's right back where you started. That's where you plan on ending up, back at home. You don't go on the trip for the final destination. You go for the experience. You go to see new things. You go to meet new people. You go to eat new food. What if you were to view your business and your life in the same way? What if you decided that the joy was in the everyday and the small little wins along the way? You might have heard of the Oprah Effect. It's where Oprah would mention her favorite brands and favorite products on her favorite things episode. And with a reach of around, I think, 42 million people, these small kitchen table style businesses would blow up overnight. But these businesses didn't have the capacity to deal with this kind of overnight success. And unfortunately, many of them would fail in the coming months. They just wouldn't be able to fill the orders, they wouldn't be able to handle customer service issues, and their businesses would sadly crumble. That's because they didn't know how to be that business just yet. I love the idea of the inevitable goal, and I use it myself all the time. It allows me to zoom out and take a wider look at my business and at my life and where I want it to be in the years to come. Now, let me share my personal inevitable goal with you. My personal inevitable goal is to have a $250,000 a year business working 4 days a week with a small core team of support staff by the end of 2021. Now, do I know how to do that yet? No. Do I know exactly what staff I'll need to support me when I'm making that kind of money? No. But I've got short-term mini goals in place, ones that I can hit on a monthly and quarterly and yearly basis so I can learn and grow into that. So I can make changes and course correct as I need along the way. I love that my goal is inevitable, and I love that I'm living into that vision I hold for myself and for my life. But what I'm most excited about is who and what will enter my life to take me to that place. I'm excited to grow into this version of myself and to have fun along the way. Will it always be easy? Probably not. Will I fail? 100% yes. That's guaranteed. Will I experience embarrassment and open myself up to criticism? Most likely yes. But will I make it mean that I'm doing it wrong, that I'm never going to get there? No, I won't make it mean that. I get to choose how I think about every and any situation, and you do too. And I know that the worst thing that can happen is simply a feeling in my body. It's simply an energetic vibration. And when it comes to my big inevitable goal, I'm all in. I'm committed and I'm willing to feel what I need to feel on the way there. Because that's the human experience. That's what it means to live a full, rich life as a creative. That's all for this week, guys. For updates, be sure and subscribe to my newsletter over at varilongmuir.com and come follow me on Instagram. I'm at Vari Longmuir. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd love for you to come check out my private coaching service for artists and creatives. Maybe you're struggling to commit to just one of the hundreds of ideas you have. Or perhaps your confidence has taken a bit of a dive after that epic fail. Regardless of what you're struggling with, a single coaching session can give you the focus and clarity you need to take the next right step for you. Head on over to varilongmuir.com/coaching for more information and to book your session.